Welcome to the vlog. As if this is your first time here, I'm Cindy, and my goal is to compete in a bodybuilding show for the first time next year. I turn 50 this year. I'd love it if you would subscribe, like the video. It helps me out a lot to grow this channel. Today, I'm going to take you through a full rest day. So, as I explained on the last video, I hired a new coach. And I took a GI map test to see what was going on with my gut because I'd been having, over the last 4 or 5 years, I was diagnosed with SIBO and I had tried to eradicate it unsuccessfully, and I'd started to have the same symptoms again of SIBO. So the results of the GI map test were that I do have SIBO. I also have Candida and H. pylori. So the first step with this new coach is to follow a gut protocol. And today I'll take you through what a rest day on the gut protocol looks like. I have a lot more rest days with this coach now because during the gut protocol he has reduced my training volume and intensity. I had been doing 5 days a week, about an hour to hour 15 minutes per session. The sessions now are 3 days a week, much shorter, more like 40 minutes. Leaving at least 3-4 reps in reserve per exercise, only 2, sometimes 3 top sets. So really trying to lower the intensities to lower the stress during this healing protocol. And the protocol changes every 2 weeks of, I think it's like a 12 to 14 week cycle, but everything changes every 2 weeks. I am at the tail end of my first week of the protocol, so just showing you what I'm doing currently. I haven't yet started on any of the antibiotics or the rebuilding. So basically we're in the detox phase, then we'll go into priming, then the killing phase, and then the rebuilding phase. So everything will change as we go along. My food's very different on a rest day than on a training day. Calories are about the same as what I was eating before, but it's a much more limited selection of food. So I will show you that as well today. All of my meals, everything that I drink, everything that I eat. You will see the most vile thing that I have to drink, which is my GI gut drink. I drink that twice a day, before breakfast and before my last meal. It is not fun, and it takes me a good 20 minutes to get it down, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. Morning, YouTube. I have just mixed up my gallon of water with Redmond's salt and potassium. So I do 3 teaspoons of the potassium and 1.5 of the Redmond salt. First 2 supplements are NAC and OptiPure. The OptiPure I take twice a day on an empty stomach. So that's the start of my gut healing. This is the decaf coffee that I use. Disarmed. Good morning. Somebody wants to go for walkies? You want to go for a walkie? Yeah. So this is the Vile GI drink that I have twice a day. So it's glutamine, ACV, lemon juice, and aloe. And then I add water, and it is freaking gross. So just making meal 1 now. I do add a little bit of the Fairlife protein to my decaf coffee in the morning. I start with heat up the turkey bacon in the air fryer, and then I use spinach and sometimes herbs if I have them with my egg whites and eggs. Make that in the pan. And on this particular day, I actually set the air fryer on fire. I will not show you that footage, but apparently parchment paper too close to the top of the air fryer is a dangerous thing. So if you don't know this trick, the best way to weigh out peanut butter, coconut oil, things like that is to put the jar on the scale, and then whatever comes out in the spoon is yours. So that is everything. 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of egg whites, 1 slice of turkey bacon, some spinach, and a tablespoon of peanut butter, and I will top it with my favorite sauce from Flavor Gang, which is sriracha maple. I have my decaf coffee, which has just a touch of the Fairlife protein in it, and then I take vitamin D and my morning supplements, which are fish oil, B1, and a multivitamin. So this is meal 2. I have 3 ounces of shredded chicken, 60 grams of green beans, 50 grams of pineapple, and 180 grams of jasmine rice. And I just use the Ray's no sugar added barbecue sauce on top, 20 grams. It's a little over half a serving, so that's about 8 calories, something like that. And it's about 12:30 in the afternoon, meal 2 going in, and after this I finish work at 1 o'clock in the summer, which is really nice, summer Fridays. So after I finish working at 1, I will head off to meet with Sierra Swan. She is a bikini pro and an Olympian, and she is now my posing coach. So I will have a posing session with her, and I'll probably film a little bit of that for you to see.
But see how this one stays this way, so you over rotate it just a little bit. Go back to your front post for a second. So do your first step. Yep.
So it is right now about 3:30 in the afternoon. I had my posing session with Sierra. It was tough. It was really tough. It was only my second time ever doing a posing session, and it's very hard to maneuver my body in the way I need to. So I scheduled my next session in 2 weeks, so that gives me some incentive to practice. So when I go back, I at least know the transitions. I have to memorize the transitions and remember the cues she gave me for, in particular, my front pose that I have quite a bit of difficulty with. And I also had another round of my OptiPure fasted in between meals. So I had that in the car on the way back home, and I'm gonna prepare my meal 3 right now. So meal 2 and meal 3 were the same today, but I'm using a different protein. So I'm starting with 180 grams of jasmine rice. Get that weighed out. It's quite a bit of rice. I'm actually not used to having such high carbs, this much higher carb than my last meal plan. And it's somewhat lower in protein and lower in fat. And I don't know if that will change when I'm done with the gut protocol, but that's what it currently is. That's it, 180 grams. 60 grams of yellow squash that I've already cooked up. Which is a very small amount of vegetables. I'm used to eating much more veggies than this. And then 3 ounces of ground turkey, and that's the 99% lean turkey breast. Okay, that's 3 ounces. So I'm going to heat this up, and then I will top it with pineapple. Again, I have 50 grams of pineapple, and then I'm going to use 2 of my favorite Flavor Gang sauces. So Nerdy Sanchez, it's like a spicy salsa kind of flavor, and then Sriracha Maple that I pretty much put on everything. It's got a sweet and spicy thing going on. So that will be meal 3, and I'll show it to you when it's done. And I forgot to mention, I will also add the 7 grams of coconut oil to my hot food. So that goes right on top. And then I usually weigh out any sauces that have calories. I'm trying, these are both actually zeros, but I try not to get more than a serving, so 15 milliliters is a serving. So that is 15 of that one. And 15 of that one. So this is the final product. It's my ground turkey, rice, and pineapple, and yellow squash. Meal 3. Drink number 2. So it's about 7:06 in the evening, so about a half hour before my last meal of the day. Going in with my second GI drink. It is absolutely vile, as you'll see in a moment. Ugh. So twice a day. Bottoms up. Okay. Last meal of the day. So it's 4 ounces of shrimp, 180 grams of white rice, 60 grams of squash, and I used the sweet poppy sauce on top. And I forgot, I also have 100 grams of strawberries in the evening after dinner, so that's this, and I will add a little bit of sugar-free Jell-O on top. Okay, so it's evening now, and I just wanted to show you the nighttime supplements that I take. So I take 2 of these Calm. They have like ashwagandha and other stuff in them. I take 2 droppers of this Relax under the tongue. It's supposed to help with sleep. Then I take my progesterone, which that's not new. I've been doing progesterone therapy for 4 years. And then I take magnesium at night. And that's pretty much it for the supplements that I take and the food. So that'll close out this rest day, and I will see you tomorrow for a training day, and I will talk about what that looks like. Good morning, YouTube. I'm here in my morning look. Just prepared meal 1. Today is Saturday. It's a training day, so food's a little bit different than my rest day. I've already had my morning supplements that I showed you yesterday, fasted. I've had my GI drink. I also tested my blood glucose, which I do now for my coach a few times a week. It's generally in the low 80s, so that's all good. And yep, just getting ready to eat meal 1. I will have 2 meals prior to training today. I have a plan for when I train early in the morning on weekdays, and then I have a different food plan for when I train after meal 2. So weekends, we tend to train a little bit later. So I'll show you my food. So it's pretty much the same as yesterday, except I get the 2 caramel rice cakes with the peanut butter instead of having to eat the peanut butter by itself. I've got my 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of egg whites, turkey bacon, and then I use the sriracha maple flavor gang sauce. I have my coffee with a little bit of the Fairlife shake, and then I take a vitamin D, the liquid, and my morning supplements with breakfast are fish oil, multivitamin, and B1. And that's it. That'll be meal 1. So it's a little bit later on Saturday. It's almost noon, and we just cleaned the whole house. I meal prepped food for the dog, about a month's worth of food, and I'm currently cooking about a week's worth of rice for meal prep in the Instant Pot. And when that's done, I will have meal 2, and then we'll head off to train. Okay, meal 2 before the gym. So it's 3.5 ounces of ground turkey, 180 grams of jasmine rice, 50 grams of pineapple, and I topped it with this Ray's sugar-free sweet and spicy barbecue sauce. So this is my pre-workout meal, and I will catch you at the gym. So this was a glute and hamstring workout, keeping some reps in reserve, lowering the working sets. That's the goal, to just reduce stress on the body. So started with single leg hamstring curls, 2 working sets. Really just warming up here. Moved on to the seated leg curl. We had 3 working sets here. I don't usually use this seated machine. I feel like I don't fit in it very well. I prefer the Nordic curl, but on this day I did it. And then moved on to barbell Romanian deadlifts. These always feel pretty good to me. I sometimes switch it up with dumbbells, but this day we did barbell, and moved on to hip thrusts. 3 working sets here, 10 reps. So kept a couple reps in reserve. Usually I would do 12 to 15 reps at this weight. And then the last compound movement was a good morning. So I love this machine. You can squat on it, you can do your good mornings on it, but I feel like I get a really good stretch in the hamstring and the glute, and it feels very controlled, very safe. And then finished up with these hypers and really keep the upper back rounded to emphasize using the glute as opposed to the low back in these. And that was it. Okay, it looks like a total mess, but this is my post-training meal. I made kind of a slushy with my whey protein, and underneath there's cream of rice, chocolate brownie flavor from Flavor Gang, and 100 grams of blueberries, but you really can't see what's going on here because it's kind of a slushy mess, but that's my post-workout. And last meal of the day, 250 grams of red potato, 4 ounces of ground beef, 60 grams of squash, and then I made a combination of like a buffalo sauce and a light mayonnaise for my serving of fat, and then a sugar-free ketchup, and I also have 50 grams of pineapple, and that will finish me off for my training day today, Saturday. So if you made it till the end, that's the whole vlog. I took you through a rest day and a training day with my new macros, my new meal plan, GI protocol. Today was all the same supplements as yesterday on my rest day, so I didn't show those. I just I showed the different food. So today was quite a bit higher in calories than my rest day. And yeah, the goal for me now is just to get used to this lighter training schedule, 3 days a week, not going to all out, really leaving some reps in reserve. Not easy for me. And just being patient because the build will come, and my coach says I will be in a much better position to build once my gut is straightened out and my hormones are optimal. So we got to get there. So thanks for coming along. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like the video, comment, and just let me know any questions, any suggestions for future videos. I'll continue to take you through my process. I know that my supplements will be changing every 2 weeks, And I suspect my meal plan will change along the way as well, and probably my training. So I will take you through all those things. Still targeting hopefully spring of next year, a show next year. Realistically, not sure if that's possible given the time frame of this GI protocol, but really shooting for April, May, June. We now have a date for the NPC show in Charlotte in April of 2024 is April 6th. So it's very early in the month. So that would be the earliest show I would do. And if my coach says I'm ready to start prep in January, then we would target that show. So come along on the adventure with me, and I'll see you in the next one.